All right. When I started talking the first time, this is the second. The video was 65% uploaded, and I think I made it a whole 51 seconds before a cuss word slipped out of my mouth. And part of that's just because I'm relaxed. This is not a corporate environment. I spend most of my week there, and yeah, that's what it is. So anyways, one thing I said was, what do I do in my spare time while I'm waiting for these videos to upload, transfer from this GoPro to the phone? I clean up from previous videos, right? That's the sawdust from the last two videos. I prepare for future rituals, which this is about 2 to 3 times the amount that was in there in the last video. Some of it's a little bit scrunched because I needed to pull it up and compact it. I have this going on. These are ingots for a ritual later. That's my thing. And I was just going to do a 2-week version of it, but I was kind of nudged to do 3, and there's still some preparations that I have to make. So I'm doing stuff like that, cleaning the table off. I'm not spending a tremendous amount of time thinking about what I'm going to do here, because some things I'll think about, but I try to do other stuff so it's more honest when I do these videos, right? Because part of my goal with these is that you're not just seeing what I'm doing, but why I'm doing it and the thought process behind it. And at the very end of the last video, I did kind of realize that I'm gonna have to use this at some point, and this is the widest one that I have, but I want these channels cut first, and then I'll have to use my, you know, red lead reduction pencil to kind of mark which way it's going to go. And the challenge there will be keeping some of these features, like tilting it this way here, because you can see the 2 lumps we had here, this way here, and it not being overly obvious. Like here, this probably needs to come in this way a little bit, but can we do that with this little lump and it not be obvious, right? I think it's going to be obvious if I'm being honest, but that doesn't mean we aren't going to try. I mean, they're already not exactly the same, but we already knew that from the beginning, and you know, that's just kind of how it goes. So yeah, so we were talking about what I'm doing, you know, between times. I was actually messaging a former boss of mine to that I'm making wands for their family, and wands here. Sorry, I gotta protect myself here. There we go. And showing them some of the wands I'm doing, because I think I just finished the 3rd out of 5. I'll probably make 6. Dude was good. So good dude, good family, 3 kids, all youngish, and I want them to be able to. One of them is so young that it has to be like the Fisher Price handle size things, so they can't shove it down their damn throat. And so I'm probably going to carve another one just to give them an option, right? So anyway, so I was giving picks up on that, and that's what I'm doing. So let's see, 4 minutes in, and a phrase I used to say all the time, since I can, it's been over 3 minutes, is fuck all the dumb shit, let's roll. And so let's just go ahead and widen these channels like we said we were going to. Now, part of the reason I wanted one of these handles is that your digits are going to be on this to keep it steady moving forward, and while that doesn't make much difference, it doesn't bother you on when you're just doing a little bit of work with it. Once you start putting some pressure, things start taking time, you start making multiple videos. Yeah, I switched hands a little bit, but for the most part it wasn't. It was just this one. And your digits are going to feel it. Especially if you're like me and you have a tendency to do that with the chisels too, you know, because these aren't sharp enough to cut you, but they are sharp enough to irritate over time. So what I'm doing here is, let's see if you can even freaking see that. Probably can't. Let's try lowering this a little bit so I can work a little closer to the camera here. What I'm doing here is I'm straightening the line, but I'm also putting some pressure, downward pressure on there. It's just before I do that, I have to make sure that that line is kind of where I want it to be. Yes, we're going to widen it, and yes, that can remove a lot of blemishes, but it's going to save some time. Like right here, for example, that was a little bit off, and so what I purposefully did was shifted this just a little bit that way to make a straighter line right there. And god damn it, I'm really sorry that I can't do this in like 4K, but it takes forever to upload those videos. I can do it in 4K, but so what I'm mostly doing is I'm paying attention to this line right here. And the reason I'm doing that is that eventually I'll have to go and I'll have to pay attention to this other line on this other side and just kind of match those up. They don't have to be perfect, but they do have to be straight-ish like, right? And so that's kind of what I'm doing now. I have my channel, and so instead, like on a regular wand, I was thinking, oh, I have a little bulge over here, I have a little bulge right here. I'm kind of taking the same approach, except I'm doing it with this cut line. This I guess you could say inner cut line, but I guess that's perspective, right? So I'm basically just taking this one cut line as I continue to file, right? And I'm trying to straighten that out, because if I straighten it out, see, like this is a little rounded right here because the curve got moved. And I need to look first. Yeah, I don't see any reason for it. So let me just go ahead and round that out a little bit. Well, I guess that's not true. Let me go ahead and straighten this out a little bit, excuse me. And then as I continue to cut this groove, that'll be fine. There's going to be, unlike a lot of wands where I just kind of have to worry about one plane, I have to worry about it on both sides here and in the middle. So it's actually going to take a lot more consideration, and I'll do what I can for it, but there's just going to be a point where personally I'm just going to be like, good enough, right? But we're not there yet. So I'm trying to look up here and I'm trying to make these lines kind of straight-ish. They're going to get widened, and so it's kind of okay, but if the straighter I get them, then the less work I assume, I don't really know, I'll have to do with the thicker one. And so that's exactly what we're doing here. And I'm paying attention to this inner line right here. And it could just be that this other one is so large that it just doesn't matter, but it's pretty close. You see what I'm saying? So I want to at least, even if it screws up one side or another side, at least want to have something straight-ish to work with after I start cutting that wider channel. So here we go. That was a little off. And so what this does also is that it helps me keep this stuff straight, but I'm less concerned with putting pressure on this chisel. This file, sorry. And that in turn allows the file to do the work, right? Like one of the things when I was splitting wood with my son, I was teaching him how to split wood. He hadn't done it, and we were using an 8-pound sledgehammer, a 4-pound wedge, and I was saying, look, all you have to do is pick this up. Gravity will pull this down and hit that wedge for you. So if you want to put effort into it, you can put effort into it, but let the tool do the work. All right, same thing. Let the tool do the work. It's better at it than we are. Sometimes it needs a little help. That's for sure. At least on our timetable, right? This is pretty good here. You know, I'm still honestly really not confident at all that I'm doing this, that doing this is even the right thing, but I am confident that it's something I need to learn, right? Because I'm not really, I've seen a lot of wands where they pretty much just drill the inside of it and then they work the outside of it, and I'm not really looking for that. Because for me, it still is, the process still matters to me, right? And all right, so here's one of our adjustments because of this knot up here. Because then I was like, all right, why is this going way over like that? So that I actually have to accommodate a little bit. So let's go ahead and level that out on this side. Go. Anyways, I'm not really confident, that this is the best way to approach this wand. I'm just not. And just like, just like a lot of things in life, especially like infantry ops, like in Iraq and stuff like that, you're just like, well, we've planned for what we can plan for. We think it's going to be okay. I think it's going to be right, but boots on the ground time, let's roll. And that's the way this is. So I don't really like this angle right here. I'm trying to smooth it out some, but we've got this knot that I'm also trying to keep. So let me just try to, I hope I don't screw this end up right here. Okay, I mean it's pretty straight. Not satisfied, but it's pretty straight. Let's just kind of work, because we know this is going to get expanded, and that will change things. But what I'm kind of planning to do, because it just occurred to me like 30 seconds ago, is that I'm doing it on this side, right? And I'm doing it on this side to establish a kind of like a baseline to judge the other side with, right? I mean, that makes sense. We know it's going to be wide. And so I'm basically just going to be going along the other side and kind of doing the same thing, and then worry about deepening the channel. But I think at that point it'll probably be ready for the larger one. I know it's not earth-shattering, but I am talking about what I'm doing. There we go. Let's just go back to here. When in doubt, go back a coil, right? Good. Yep, we talked about this one. This is why we had this problem. Good. Good. All right. See how this wobbles down? You may not. This wobbles down right here. I'm concerned about this area over here, but just go ahead and do it. Because I can always remove this area, take a level down here in a sense, and it would kind of erase some of these things. But I've got a big difference here, and then it goes like this. So I got to smooth this out some. Because of this, okay. Alright, again, we got one of these things here. So just go ahead and reduce that. Okay. Okay. Not bad. Oh, no, I don't want to do that. Just switch hands. Here. Straight, 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 straight. Straight, straight. Less so. Okay. Sorry. Straight. Less straight. There's a little curve right here. Let's just try to flatten that out just a little bit. Go. You know, it's kind of dumb, but it reminds me of you go to the hairstylist as a guy, or the barber. And you're like, do you want it rounded or flat in the back? And apparently I'm not a good customer. Because what I tell them is, I don't see it, so it doesn't matter to me. And then it just like totally throws them off, because now they're processing several things there. And it's consistent, apparently across states. There we go, straighten that out. Right. Not bad. Not bad. I know I complain a lot and all that, but it's part of the game. Alright, so we can still see some stuff right here. To be expected, I guess, but we were working on this line, this upper line here, and when we look here, it doesn't look too bad. It's much straighter. Of course, we obviously to work at that. I told on myself in the areas that weren't. That's fine. That's where it goes. Good with that. And now we're going to have to go along this bottom line to kind of do the same thing. And that matters because you can literally see it right here. Or maybe you can't. I hope you can. I'm so sorry. I'm trying to look through this little screen. There's a little dip right here. Right? Not anymore. There. So we're at 17, almost 18 minutes now. So we went along this upper edge. Next video we're going to go along this lower edge. Yeah, see, I actually missed with the file here. Oh, hell. Can't handle it, can it? Sorry. Alright, you can see the grooves on the file here. That's alright. We'd have to sand those areas anyhow, because we have to sand all those areas. But not bad. We did do that one edge, and to be honest with you, it probably doesn't matter, but it makes me feel better. And then I'll go and do this lower edge, these lower edges all the way around, because we just did these upper edges here. And do that. But that's probably going to be the next video. I know, not earth-shattering, but that's the way that goes. I mean, we talked about it a bit, but let's I want to straighten out these lower versions before I make a determination of how much of things like this that I'm going to reduce, because I kind of need to make some of these more level, but it doesn't mean I have to get rid of the features that I want. It's just here I've introduced the problem of this corkscrew feature, which I also want to keep. So that's for the next video, and have a good one.